What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. WrestleMania's first night is over, but there's still plenty to look forward to with 8 big matches, including the winner-take-all bout between WWE Champion Brock Lesnar and Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Join us now as we look at WrestleMania 38's second night as we recap the show and look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the review as we look at the main show first as Jessie James Decker performs her rendition of America the Beautiful. Then Triple H makes a surprise appearance as the fans at the AT&T Stadium go absolutely nuts. The cerebral assassin makes his way down to the ring, taking it all in as the fans chant, "Thank you, Hunter." Hunter tells the fans he wanted to thank them and show his love the best way how, shouting "Welcome to WrestleMania" and leaving his boots in the ring, signaling his retirement officially. Man, I can't believe this is a WrestleMania where we both lost Triple H and The Undertaker. Shit's surreal, man. Anyway, we start off with the first match of the night as it's a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship as RK Bro take on Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. Now this quickly turns into bedlam as all 3 teams run into the ring with 6 superstars battling it out. It's a triple threat but the 3 teams fight like it's a Texas tornado match. Things don't stop for a minute as one team knocks one out of the ring only to deal with the remaining team. For example, Riddle and Orton queue up for the RKO on the fallen Street Profits, but Alpha Academy then pull them out of the ring. We got 2 amazing RKOs as both Riddle and Randy Orton hit them. As the finish sees Gable diving off the top rope, but Randy Orton counters, RKOing him and covering him for the win. RK Bro retain the Tag Team Championship. After the match, the Street Profits celebrate with RK Bro, then invite Gable Steveson to join them in a toast. Chad Gable knocks the red solo cup out of Steveson's hand and he talks trash as the others watch from outside the ring. Steveson suplexes Chad Gable, then joins RK Bro and the Street Profits in a victory toast. We then got Omos versus Bobby Lashley. Lashley kicks Omos, but the big man stops him, dropping him with a forearm. They go for a test of strength, but Bobby powers out, but that is until Omos kicks him. After escaping an Omos bear hug, Lashley builds momentum, suplexing the monster heel as Lashley bounces off the ropes and spears him right in the kidneys, and a second spear and Omos is down. Lashley wins the match. Next up, it's an anything goes match as Sami Zayn goes up against Johnny Knoxville. Now this was one of the most batshit matches I've ever seen in my life. We had fire extinguishers, stun guns, bowling balls and guest appearances from the cast of the Jackass Forever film. Zayn may not be outclassed, but he's clearly outnumbered as the Jackass stars help their friend, producing gadgets such as a boot machine suitable for kicking Zayn right in the nether regions, an air horn to stun Zayn, a table packed with mouse traps, a giant hand, more plunder than you can shake a stick at. Not to mention Party Boy's thong and Wee Man suplexing Sami Zayn, looking like some Andre the Giant moment. Now Knoxville wins this Mac Classic after he traps Sami Zayn in a giant mousetrap. Yeah, we're not making that up, covering his immobilized opponent for the win. Next up, it's a fatal 4-way for the Women's Tag Team Championship as Queen Zelina and Carmella take on Sasha Banks and Naomi, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler. This one's a fast one, and there's crazy spots as all 4 teams take advantage of a no DQ and no countouts rule. There's no control here, and there's too much interference. However, as the match goes on, the 4 teams begin to wear each other down. There's quick tags by Naomi and Banks that keep Carmella off balance, but a backstabber by Banks as she covers Carmella for the 1-2-3 as Sasha Banks and Naomi are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Next up, it's Edge versus AJ Styles. Styles goes after Edge early on, charging him in the corner. It's clear that he's wormed his way into Styles' head. Nevertheless, Styles shows his heart as he's known for and he fights back as both wrestlers make unsuccessful attempts at their finishes as well as short-lived applications of submission holds. As the match winds down, Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Edge gets out the way. Edge goes for a spear, but AJ leapfrogs out of the way and Styles clash to Edge. He doesn't get it though. Edge kicks out with a nanosecond to spare. Styles is going to go for the phenomenal forearm, but he's distracted by Damian Priest. He dives off the top only to get a spear. Priest stares at Edge as the referee counts to 3 as Edge wins the match. Priest enters the ring and Edge looks up, seemingly uncertain of Priest's intentions, but then Edge laughs and both men stand in the ring before leaving together. Looks like the rumors of Edge assembling a faction are true, and this could be something of a Brood/Ministry of Darkness hybrid. I tell you what, I'm all for that. Next up is the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Now, this was just barely a match. This is all about Sheamus and Ridge Holland's friend Butch's continuous efforts to get involved in the match. But the match ends quite quickly as Sheamus broke kicks Woods as Holland wraps things up. There's a Northern Grit aka a Northern Lights bomb on Xavier and a cover by Holland for the 1-2-3. Sheamus and Ridge Holland won the match, and after it, Butch attacks Xavier, apparently trying to yank out his dreadlocks. But after that, Mr. McMahon's No Chance in Hell theme plays as he does the Fargo strut out to the ring. McMahon takes the microphone and introduces a future Universal Champion, Austin Theory. We then get Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee, as McAfee wastes no time after Theory, but Austin slows him down with a shot to the throat. Theory's experience gives him the edge throughout the match, but McAfee's athleticism and intestinal fortitude keeps him back in. The fans cheer as Pat goes to punt Theory, but Austin ducks and kicks Pat right in the knees. Theory lifts Pat up for a finisher, but Pat counters, rolling Theory up for the 1-2-3 as Pat McAfee wins the match. He celebrates as Mr. McMahon confers with Theory outside the ring, and he calls Mr. McMahon out. And Vince ain't playing. He takes his shirt off and he's ready for a match. A wrestling's strongest septuagenarian gets in Pat's face only for Austin to blindside him. McMahon takes advantage, clotheslining Pat and ramming his head right into the mat. Although Pat is beat up from his first match, he regroups and prepares to dish out some punishment. However, Theory grabs his legs and Pat gets crushed into the post. McMahon toys with a helpless McAfee before Theory hands Vinnie Mac a football and McMahon kicks it in Pat, covering him for the 3 count as McMahon gets his first WrestleMania win. Now they're really happy with themselves, but that is until Stone Cold Steve Austin's music and he makes his way down to the ring. Theory goes after him, but he gets a stunner, and Austin looks at McMahon and offers him a beer. Could they finally bury the hatchet? Well, McMahon sips a beer and motions that he likes Austin's beer. But to absolutely no one's surprise, Austin kicks McMahon in the gut and stunners him. Pat's welcomed into the ring, but he also gets a stunner for his troubles. And finally, it's the winner-take-all match as WWE Champion Brock Lesnar takes on Universal Champion Roman Reigns. It's a title unification slobber knocker as Lesnar manhandles Reigns early on until a distraction from Paul Heyman allows Reigns to spear Brock through the security barrier. Seriously, is that the most overplayed spot ever? But that's just the beginning, as there's a number of F5s and suplex cities, but likewise Reigns utilizes numerous spears and Superman punches and capitalizes on a ref bump to deliver a low blow and a title belt to the head. But it's still not enough and Brock locks in the Chimera lock. Reigns makes it to the ropes though as Lesnar tries another F5, but Reigns escapes, whipping Lesnar into the ropes and spearing him, covering him for the win as Roman Reigns is now the undisputed WWE Champion. That was a quick recap. What about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly? As always, we start off with the good as number 1, bow down to the king. Night 2 started off with a true WrestleMania moment as WWE icon Triple H surprised the WWE Universe. This was a feel-good moment that reminded fans that anything can happen in the WWE, and it was a fitting ending to such a huge career. Number 2, a strong start. Now, the triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship was the idle opener for Night 2 as all 3 teams fought furiously. Riddle's RKO and Montez Ford from the top rope was fantastic, as was the post-match celebration where Chad Gable tried to dress down rookie Gable Steveson. Seriously, Chad Gable is freaking awesome. I really hope that they actually give him a chance. Number 3, stupidly awesome. Now, WWE rarely pulls off comedy, but no one pulls off physical comedy like the crew from Jackass. This match was just insane. I mean, it was one of the most WTF matches you've ever seen. We love the comedy, and this was a perfect change of pace match from Mania and a reminder that celebrities can work a variety of different roles. Number 4, the right matches and the right choice. WrestleMania was simply sensational with a fantastic card on both nights. Tonight the WWE kept up Night 1's pace as it revitalized the women's tag match with a great tag match, showing there are plenty of good teams if the WWE wants to utilize them. Putting the belts on Sasha and Naomi was the right decision, as was the call to put Bobby Lashley over on Omos. Omos isn't ready to challenge for a world championship just yet, but Lashley is one of the WWE's most viable contenders, a former champion and a force to be feared. Let's hope that they put Lashley in the title picture once again. Number 5, exciting and elaborate entrances. A WrestleMania second night didn't hold back with elaborate entrances. Just as Night 1 dazzled the fans with stupendous spectacles, so did Night 2. Whether it was Pat McAfee entering his match accompanied by the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, expensive sets, or lavish pyro, WrestleMania 38 provided plenty of enthralling entrances. Number 6, more McAfee magnificence. Pat McAfee showed why he's quickly become a fan favorite, putting in an impressive performance against Austin Theory. This wasn't Pat's first match, but it was still amazing as he performed a number of high spots, including a vertical leap to the top rope to superplex Theory, a swanton, and an overall great performance before going on to win it. Number 7, worst stunner ever. Seriously, I was laughing at that stunner 10 minutes after it happened. It was just so bad, but so good. The look on McMahon's face when Austin's music played was priceless, even though he got shook at Austin Theory's music being played. More than a few fans began wondering whether Austin and McMahon might clash one last time since they were both in Dallas for WrestleMania. They got their wish as Austin gave McMahon the comeuppance fans have been enjoying for nearly 25 years. Seriously though, when you look at bad stunners, this tops it all. It's worse than Linda McMahon and it's worse than Donald Trump. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, too much filler. WrestleMania 38 featured a whole host of fantastic matches, so why did they feel the need for so much filler? Their overuse of hype videos and highlights from night 1 served no purpose other than making each night a 4-hour event. Each night could have easily have gone 3.5 hours or even 3, but the WWE continues to go with the idea that quantity has a quality all on its own. Number 2, a terrible tag match. Seriously, they couldn't have put this in on night 1? It only lasted about 2 damn minutes. In fact, it should have just been left off the card at all. What the hell was the point of it? Unless Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were working hurt, there's no excuse for this bout going less than 2 minutes. And number 3, Roman Reigns. Now, although Brock vs Lesnar was a decent enough match, let's be fair, we could only get so much out of them as they faced each other like 4 or 5 times now. The WWE's decision to unify its world title belts and put them on Roman is going to cost them dearly in the long run. They painted themselves into a corner by having Reigns defeat every potential foe. Unless the WWE has someone they plan on having Reigns pass the torch to, fans are going to be in for an even lengthier and predictable title reign. Is this going to last 1,000 days? When is it going to end? Is the only person that can dethrone Roman Reigns The Rock? And when he wins it, where do they go from there? Also, the finish of the match was incredibly flat. It's like it came out of nowhere or they were running out of time. Just didn't seem to fit the night. Now, there was no Downright Ugly as the WWE over-delivered this year with WrestleMania providing an amazing array of matches, surprises, and WrestleMania moments. Stone Cold's return was a supercharged dose of nostalgia that served as the icing on the cake for one of the best Manias in years. Seriously, this was an awesome Mania. But there you have it, folks, our recap of Night 2 of WrestleMania 38 as well as the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.